Okay, so let's start off this video with a question. How many ways can we represent the number 6 by multiplying? I'm just going to write an X for the symbol of multiplication. By multiplying numbers together. So this question is asking how many ways can we represent 6 by multiplying numbers? And let's just do the examples and then you'll understand what I'm trying to say. So one way we can represent 6 by multiplying numbers together is the following. So we have 1 times 6 is equals to 6. The other possible way of representing 6 by multiplying numbers together is the following. And you can check for yourself, but these are the only two possible ways of representing 6 by multiplying numbers together. Now, these numbers over here in the multiplication on the left-hand side are called the factors, or factors. So let's just write them over here, all the numbers that appear over here. So these numbers are called factors. And there's a few ways we can think of factors. One way is we can think of, these are all the possible numbers that can be multiplied that give us 6. So if you take some combination of these, you can get the result of 6. And another way of thinking of it is the following. Anytime you have an expression where you're multiplying numbers together, the numbers that you're multiplying together are called the factors. So in this case, these numbers on the left-hand side, which are being multiplied together, are called factors. So the two ways we found, the two ways that we can talk about factors are all the numbers that when multiplied give us that number, which we did before. And then the other way is anytime you're multiplying numbers together, those numbers which you're multiplying together are called the factors. Now, let's say someone were to ask you, what are all the factors of, let's write down a number. What are all the factors of the number 8? You do the exact same thing as you did in the first example. You would try to find all the possible ways of multiplying numbers that give you 8. And we're only dealing with whole numbers. We're not talking about integers for now. So let's do that. So one way of doing this, we know that any number multiplied by that same number, any number multiplied by 1 will give you that same number. So that means that 1 times 8 is equals to 8. That's one way we can write 8 by multiplying numbers together. The second way is, we know that 2 times 4 is equals to 8. And then I'm pretty sure the only possible way is 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8. So now we have 3 representations of getting 8. And there aren't any other possible ways you can multiply numbers to get 8. Now, if I were to ask you what are the factors, after you've done all this, what are the factors of 8? We're only interested in if it appears in the multiplication. I don't care of how many times it appears. So if you see, for example, 2, it appears 1, 2, 3, 4 times in this whole process, but we're only interested if it appears. So all the factors of 8 are 1, because we see 1 appear here, and we'll go sequentially, so we'll go in ascending order. So the next largest number, that would be 2. After that, we see 4 appears on the left-hand side, and finally 8 appears on the left-hand side. So these are the factors of 8. Okay, in the next video what we'll do is we'll introduce the idea of composite in prime numbers.